Before we begin today, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we live, work, and learn, and I join you from Wurundjeri country. I pay my respects to elders past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples who might be joining us today. So I'm Tom, I'm the marketing manager here at Cengage. I'll be running the sort of technical side of this. So if you have any issues or can't hear anything, please put it in the chat as you've already done so by letting us know where you're coming from. And also any questions that you would like to ask Nicole, please put them in there and I'll make sure that we have time for her to answer them. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Nicole.
Lovely. Thanks for that, Tom. Hi, everyone. My name's Nicole Khouri. I'm the Customer Success Manager here at Nelson MindTap. And today, once I get my screen shared, we're planning on taking you through the Science and Focus digital resources. So the main objective of today is to give you a little bit of an overview of the resources that you can expect. We'll cover a lot of things here, and as Tom mentioned, please just pop any questions you have in the chat, but hopefully a lot of the questions are answered for you during the presentation. It'll take roughly 30 minutes, and the idea is to give you an overview, including some samples, a live demonstration of the platform as well, and any sort of availability and eligibility questions and digital resource answered at the end. So with that in mind, here is a quick little snapshot, an overview of the digital resources that come with both bio in focus and physics in focus. So broken it up for you for students and teachers so you can compare it. So for our students, there's ebooks, there's PDF chapters as well. So two different things to note there, because the ebook has further annotation features, read aloud features, note-taking features. And then, of course, our PDF is there for any sort of offline use, and this is just a standard PDF. Other resources include videos and over 100, approximately about 100 new worksheets for bio and physics each. And for all of our lovely teachers on the call, you get everything that the students get plus more. So there's our teaching programs, fully work solution with some marking criteria, a test bank, which is new to the series. So that's something that's new. So if you're using the current series, this test bank that we provide you has over 200, additional questions. And again, a lot more throughout this here. Here is a simple sort of comparison for bio and physics. So it's basically the same. The digital resources that we provide are the same for both textbooks, both subjects, except for the very last one here at the bottom, which is specifically for our biology textbook. So this is a type of video. It's called Visible Body, and that is only for biology. But in terms of everything else I'm mentioning today, it's applied to both biology and physics. The way that we're highlighting the resources throughout the textbook is with this little icon. So in this little red box here, there'll be an icon that shows you then there is an accompanying supporting online material associated with that. So if you open up the textbook and you see it there, it'll be very clearly labeled to you. So for in this instance, there's a worksheet associated with this. So very easy for you to know exactly when there is an accompanying online resource. Now, our worksheets. So as I mentioned, there is approximately 100 ready-made worksheets per bio and for physics each. The whole idea of these here is to save you time while also preparing your students. So we know that time is a valuable asset for all of our teachers. So that's why we have provided all of these here for you. They're flexible revision, so you can use them in the class if you're ever away for homework, exam prep, and it really allows your students to develop their skills and build their own independent confidence as well. So those are already made for the series. They are in a PDF format, so they can be downloaded and printed off and shared with your students. This is a sample of what our biology worksheet looks like. So it's very similar if you are currently using Bio in Focus and Physics in Focus, any of our Senior Science in Focus series. Very similar to the worksheets that you know and love, obviously just been updated to reflect the new syllabus. So this is an example, a sample of gas exchange in plants. So this will be included in our Bio online resources. And then this is for our physics one here. So again, as I mentioned, these are downloadable. Obviously with the senior science, there's a lot of exam preparation there. So a lot of pen and paper style activities to really prepare your students for that there. So additionally to the resources that you sort of know and love, so those worksheets might have looked similar, but these here are new. So we have some skills and assessment worksheets. So these are all additional worksheets that focus specifically on skills and assessment. So again, they have been added in here to align with the syllabus. You've got a little sample here on screen for you. This is for physics. And these are additional to the worksheets that you know. So that's what these ones will look like. And again, new to the series 2. And then this is an example of what our bio skills and assessment worksheet will look like. So again, the huge focus here is to help your students work scientifically, prepare them for, depth studies, and of course, with a huge focus on preparing students for exams. So these aren't just worksheets, to keep your students busy. They have been designed to build and develop the skills for your students and move them along through their senior years in preparation for that HSC exam. So all available for you online should you choose to go ahead with our series. And again, these are downloadable for your students. Next up is our supporting videos. So we provide videos for both bio and physics. The sample that I have on screen here is what we're calling our skill breakdown videos. And these here are really focused on helping students with their science skills. So the example that you're seeing is helping them learn how to read a graph. Additionally to these types of videos that we have prepared, we are providing YouTube links and also simulation videos. And an exciting new feature for the series, and again for bio specifically, is, if it's going to go to the next screen, there we go, is our visible body videos. So I'll play the video in a moment for you. Actually, let's play the video first so you can get a clear idea of what we are referring to. So this is new for this series, and hopefully that plays.
Photosynthesis is the process plants use to create sugars. It's represented by this chemical equation, which shows the reactants, or compounds that undergo a change during a reaction, and the products. Let's go over each component to see how the process works. On the left side of the equation are the reactants, carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide from the air enters the leaves of the plant through tiny openings called stomata in the leaf's epidermis. Water enters the plant through the roots and is moved up the stem to the leaves via the plant's vascular system. Light energy from the sun initiates the reactions that...
Okay, hopefully that all played correctly. I'm going to assume so. There was no, kind of angry emoji reactions going up. So hopefully that we played all well for you. But this is a new feature, a new online resource for our bio series. And as you can see in that example there, it's very visual, it uses animations, it brings complex concepts to life. It makes it easier than reading, off of a text of a flat 2D book. So it makes it engaging. There's a combination of visuals, narration, and it just makes it easier, hopefully easier, to have that 3D kind of diagram for your students to really understand any difficult concepts for them. So they have that resource available to them. And a very handy thing for you in the classroom teaching to project up on the screen, watch with your students, and then carry on through with the rest of the lesson. Another new feature for the series is our worked examples. So this is, again, a sample on the screen for you here. These have been deconstructed, really broken down to help your students understand how and why a solution was reached, not just provide them a solution. So the goal here is to build up your students' problem-solving skills. So that they can apply it to other similar questions. Again, we're breaking things down into small, manageable steps for your students, allowing them to hopefully make it any sort of difficulties that they may face, make it easier for them to process, to then apply it to other similar types of questions. And here, as I mentioned, the notes alongside it are really broken down for them so they can have a full, hopefully better comprehension of the solution. Additionally is our fully worked solution. So this is similar to what you currently have in our series. So the sort of work solutions you know and love, again, designed to save you time. With these here, these are hidden from your students online. They are visible to you as a teacher. And in a moment, I can show you how you can make them visible to your students should you wish. So as they reach, their senior years, you might entrust them with the fully worked solution and provide that to them as well if you wanted. But these are also downloadable if you would prefer to have them as a downloaded PDF for yourself as a teacher, you have them here. But of course, these are the fully worked solution, providing you with the full answer. And a new thing that we're providing is for any exam style questions, we're including any marking criteria. So you can see that here in the blue and on the sample on the screen. So again, designing to help your students understand the marking and preparing them for the exams. Next is our teaching program. So we know time is a valuable asset for teachers. So this is our way of helping save you time by providing you with programs for both bio and physics that has been written for New South Wales schools and New South Wales teachers. So these are ready, the programs are ready. So if you haven't yet seen them or you're in the midst of preparing, as I know many teachers are, please do reach out to your learning consultant. I'll share the emails for those at the end of this presentation, but I'm sure you would have had some sort of correspondence with them. Please reach out. The programs are ready. Alongside that, our page proof. So we have page proofs, which is like a sample of the 2 textbooks. Those are also ready for you too. So if you have not yet seen it, you want to have a proper look at the content, please do reach out. Both our programs and our page proofs are ready to be shared. And again, here you can see a sample of that on the screen. There is so much more that we do provide in this series. If I was to take you through it all, we would be here all day. But as we mentioned, we really want to get you home for all those teachers that are still at school, get you home and so you can enjoy the rest of your evening. But there are things like risk assessment, lab text notes, and our risk assessment screenshot is on the screen for you. And a very important thing is we have working scientifically digital only chapters. So a real bonus if you did go ahead with our series is that we have digital only chapters specifically built to working scientifically. The final slide I will show you before we jump into a live demo and then leave some time for questions at the end is our test generator. So this is new to the series. We're providing 200 plus additional questions. So that's all additional to the worksheets, additional to the questions that already come in the textbook. And it allows teachers to create quick tests, and it can be used offline or online for your students to complete online and for you to receive results. But of course, if you just wanted it to be a quick way to create some tests, that is also ready for you. So with that in mind, and we're making good time, I'm going to jump into another screen. So bear with me while I find my next one. And then we can go through a demonstration of the platform as well. As you may know, the series isn't yet published, so bio and physics are not yet published. So for today's demonstration, I will be relying on our Queensland book, but everything that I will be showing you is applicable to the new series. So for Science in Focus, it'll be the exact same. So what you're currently seeing is your bookshelf. This is what it'll look like. I have absolutely everything we publish, so ignore the foods. the Food by Design one, but just look at all the other, wonderful science books on the bookshelf. This is where you'll find all of your resources. So if you currently are using chemistry, it would still sit alongside it. It's all the same login. It's all in the same place for you. Of course, it'll just be updated to the new series. So the biggest thing that we are providing with this series, we are moving away from NelsonNet and we're moving into Nelson MindTap. So exact same resources you know and love, but just delivered in a slight different way. So once you click on that there, this is where you are taken. The biggest difference with this is that it's a courseware system. Anytime you hear the word course, I want you to think class. So what this allows teachers and schools to do is create their own classes. As you can see, I've created a number of classes here. Perhaps I'm teaching multiple year 11 biology. Teachers can create their own classes, enroll their students to their class. Of course, if there's a class share situation, you can add multiple teachers to it. Perhaps if you're a head of department, you just want oversight on everyone in case anyone is ever on leave, you can add multiple teachers to this. But it just means that each teacher can create their own class, enroll their students, and really manage how their students are going. Once your class is created, you hit on Open Course, and you are taken to your resources. So again, the resource that you know and love, but just delivered a little bit differently. And as soon as you're familiar with the layout, it'll become very easy for you. But everything is done through your menu button. First thing off being materials. So this is where all of your additional online resources will sit. So if you are currently using our series, a little bit different to what NelsonNet looks like, but I personally think laid out for you in a much clearer way. So it makes it a lot more manageable. Everything's broken up into folder format. So if you want to quickly find the PDF, you've got it there. If you want the answers, you've got it there. And then it's broken up into folders as well. So if we were to break it down and open up chapter 1, we would see absolutely everything, all of the online resources that are associated and relevant to that chapter there too. Again, if we wanted to see the worksheets here, we would click on that and we will be presented with all of our worksheets here. If some of the namings don't come across, remember this is our Queensland book, so some of the naming conventions might not come across, but again, I'm mainly here to show you the functionality so you can understand how you are going to use this. The very useful feature we have in this platform is the Edit Materials button. Now, we don't mean to come in and change our content and move, write your own textbook. We don't want you to do that. We don't want to add any more work to you. But no, what we'd allow you to do here is to customize your class by perhaps rearranging folders. So maybe you like our textbook, but you want to teach it in a slightly different order. By all means, you can definitely do this. You can come in, move chapters around to suit whichever sort of teaching program you would like. You can hide chapters from your students as well. So if you had a class that was really overwhelmed at seeing, about 12 chapters in front of them, and you just wanted to slowly focus on a specific chapter at a time, you can do that here. So you have full customization and control over your class. If you choose to do this, this is an option. You aren't required to do this. If you choose to make any customizations, you won't be changing any other teacher's course as well. So you're simply working on your own class here. The other handy thing that you can do in this feature is the ability to add links. Over your teaching years, perhaps you've compiled some great YouTube videos, some great articles, anything that you would like for your students to find in the one place. You can add those links here and you have them ready for you too. So you can't upload anything into the system, but any links you have, you can share them through the platform. If you decide to make these customizations, you make this wonderful super course, you love how this works, your students are really happy with it, you can also copy this across. So maybe you do all of this hard work for next year in 2027. You say to me, Nicole, I don't want to do all of this all over again in 2028. We say, don't you worry, you can just copy it across. If any of the other staff members in your school get jealous of your wonderful super course, they can also copy from you. So while we don't want your students copying, you guys can copy from each other, save you some time. So, and as I mentioned, this is an option for you too. If you do choose to make these customizations and you just want to make sure, give yourself peace of mind, you can also view it from your student's point of view. Make sure everything is flowing correctly. You have that ability to do that as well. So I think that's enough time on that. Let's jump into the test bank, which is another new feature, also hopefully going to save you lots of time. So with this here, we are providing additional questions for you to draw on. Once the last approximate count was over 200 per title, so and that's very likely to go up as well. Again, I have absolutely everything we publish, so my view is very confusing, but for you, you would just see biology in focus or physics in focus. What I'm going to do today is just quickly show you how easy it is to create a test by clicking on create a new test, provide a name for your test, year 11 quiz, and then save it in the appropriate folder. There's a few different options. I always select the first one, which is to build a test randomly, and then we can click on next. Here I'm being asked, where do I want to draw the questions from? Again, my view is going to be very confusing, but for you, it would be much clearer. We are going to find our biology book. And again, we're using the Queensland title. I can either choose to use the whole book, or if I wanted to break down and focus on specific chapters, I can do that as well. So let's just go with the first 4 chapters. I want to build a test based on the first 4 chapters of the book. Here I'm receiving an overview. With this, I'm being told I have up to 166 multiple choice questions that I can choose from, and then 10 short answer style questions. So for the sake of the demo, let's use 2 short answer, and then let's go with 5 multiple choice. The system allows you to input up to 250 questions. So if you wanted to be, the favorite teacher ever, you can give your students 250 questions. But again, we're just going to go with 7. I'm receiving a summary. Once I hit on finish, my test is created for me. So really, once you get into the hang of this, you can have a test ready to go in less than 60 seconds. The answer here is presented to you in your teacher view, but if you export this out, whether that's by download or whether you share it online, your students do not see the answer. So just so you know, this is because I am in the teacher view, I can see the answer. Here is the multiple choice questions, and then this is our short answer style questions. So these here come with a stimulus, and then there's a suggested answer for you as well. All of your tests are saved for you here. So let's say you provided this test to your class for your students today, but you had one student that was away. You wanted to give them the exact same test, but scrambled in a different order. You could come in, click on the scramble button. You have the option of scrambling questions and scrambling answer choices. Hit on OK. The exact same test now scrambled for you in a different format. If you are happy with this here, you can go ahead and export this out. There's a few different export options. We provide you with a Word doc option as well. So if you wanted to make any further edits to any of the questions, you can here. So we know some schools use this for, their trials or half yearly or some types of exams. They like to put their school logo, make it look a little bit more official. By all means, you can definitely do that in the Word doc option too. The other thing that you can do once it is converted into a Word doc is you can remove the answer choices under those multiple choice ones there and make it more like a short answer for you too. As I mentioned, well, we don't necessarily have time today, but this also can be issued online for your students to complete online. But if you wanted to just use it as an offline option, it is definitely available for you to do that as well. Quickly finish up before we break off for questions. In terms of availability and of the series, so the textbook, the hard copy textbook is publishing in November, and all of the digital resources will be ready by early December. The resources, the online resources, are complementary to teachers based on the fact that your school uses our textbook as the prescribed text for your students. So be that whether the school purchases a class set on behalf of their students, whether you put it on the book list, absolutely fine. Teachers receive complimentary access, and this applies whether you purchase the hard copy books or you purchase the digital only codes as well. So we provide that for you complimentary on the basis that you are using our book. If you wanted a quick snapshot of the pricing is here for you on the screen. So the textbook, which comes with the print and the digital option, is $94.95 is the recommended retail price. And we do have digital only pricing as well. So that there is $49.95 is the recommended retail for the digital only codes for those books. If you have decided to go ahead with the series and you would love some digital training for the faculty, for your staff, please book in a PD with me. So my email is on the screen there. The online resources are available from early December. So book in from now. I know that that time of year gets really busy, gets booked up. Feel free to reach out to me, send me some availability, and I can either come into the school or we can do it remote, virtually, absolutely fine. Of course, if next year works out better for you, again, never too early to get these booked in. So please reach out. My email's on the screen for you there to ask me. Lastly is we ran a webinar last week on Investigate, Model and Innovate, the Mastering Biology Practicals for the new syllabus. Tom is sharing the link to that in the chat. So if you couldn't attend last week's webinar and you wanted to catch up on it, the link for you is, the link to the YouTube is in the chat. So please pop that in, watch it in your time whenever you can, get a second to watch that. On screen is our learning consultants. So there's Sophia Burton, Dion Lombard, and Andrew Cortez. If you're unsure who your consultant is, reach out to any of them and they will still answer and help you out. But in case you didn't know, those are the details there on screen. If you'd like to reach out to me as well, by all means, happy to do that. So I know we've got a minute left. Tom, is there any questions?
Yeah, we have one from Michaela. Are you producing a workbook like the current editions?
No. So great question. We aren't producing a workbook, but we're providing those skills and assessment worksheets, the ones that are relevant to the syllabus. We're providing them digitally through the online.
Cool. And there was one other, which was I answered in chat. That was from Jessica, which is, do you have allocated marks and threshold-based marking schemes for all/any of the textbook questions, worksheets or assessment worksheets and work samples? This is a priority for us, so students have the HSC style of marking scheme baked in from the beginning of year 11.
Another great question. Going to have to go to our publishing team to ask that one, unfortunately. So what we'll do is we've got your email, we'll get that answered and we'll share that for you there.
I was going to say, I've been able to secure an answer for that one, Nicole.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Great.
I was going to say, yes. So to everyone, that is definitely baked in into the new editions, where the exam style questions at the end of chapters all have those allocated marks and schemes, so that they're getting used to that. But then also it's in the sort of worksheets as well that are provided.
Fantastic. Great to know.
The joy of doing things live, right? And Rachel, where will the video of this seminar be located so I can share with my peers? This session is being recorded, so don't worry. We'll set up a YouTube link for you to watch later, and you'll receive an email next week, most likely, with all the details, all the recording and everything else.
Perfect. I might stop sharing so I can just see any other last minute questions come in. But yeah, as Tom mentioned, this has been recorded and it will be shared If Michaela's question, if you do digital only, do you have access to all of MindTap? Yes. So if you do digital only for your students, absolutely, you are entitled to the teaching resources. And same goes whether you purchase through us or through your preferred bookseller. Either way, absolutely, you are entitled to complimentary teaching resources. But if there were no other questions, a big thank you all. Thank you, Tom, for managing the chat and getting those live questions. Thank you all for joining us this evening. 2 minutes over, so sorry about that. But hopefully you had a great time, learned some things, and if you needed anything at all, please do reach out. And if you wanted to book in a PD, please reach out to me. More than happy to arrange that.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.